And then start this? Okay. My energy soared. I felt so much better. You know, for breakfast I'd usually make eggs and sausage and muffins and white flour bread and muffins and homemade muffins and sweet jelly. I would throw that in, and I would also have coffee with that. And then I made a complete change. I started eating bran flakes, whole wheat pancakes, whatever. Oh, my heart didn't race as much anymore. I felt really good. And that proved that I was done eating really bad foods, and that from now on, I refused to go back to my old habits. And time went on, I would feed my family healthy foods, and then I got divorced. Now, for my second husband, he had a penchant for Middle Eastern foods, and it was healthy and it was satisfying for him. And I would cook Middle Eastern foods, and I learned a lot about cooking Middle Eastern foods, and I would teach him how to make things like tabbouleh and hummus and falafel and many other kinds of Middle Eastern foods. As time went on, and at that time I lived in North Carolina, and I would go to health food stores and I would buy different items, and I met a dietitian. I said, I have problems with my brain and thinking, what should I do? And he said, well, next door there is a homeopathy doctor. He said, maybe he can help you. I said, okay. So I walked next door, I went in, I said hi, I started chatting with him, and he said, you need a variety of vitamins. I said, oh, this is so expensive, I can't afford that, I'm separated from my husband. He said, well, I suggest you join a food co-op. I said, what is that, where is that? He said, well, it's near here. So I went in, and it was very interesting. You get a 20% off discount if I worked there. It was all health foods, and we get a discount on the health foods. And you had to work maybe about 10 hours a month, something like that. So I joined the co-op, and I made new friends, and I met new people, and it was like a family. And that's how I got involved in this. I saved a lot of money, but then I found that the business did close, and it moved to a private home, and all the members went and worked at the private home, and we would order, once a month we would order and share the food. For example, 50 pounds of flour, we would divvy it up and divide it. Some people would get 10 pounds, some people get 5 pounds. We would divvy that up and share it, and it was according to the weight. And then we did this once a month. I loved it, and I saved a lot of money. Then I moved to Barron, and then I moved to Tennessee. And I was looking and searching for a food co-op, and I found one that was in Atlanta. It was based in Atlanta, and there wasn't a lot of availability, but I did pay for it anyway. And then I moved here, and there was plenty of food co-ops here. And right away, I joined a food co-op right away. It was called Good and Plenty Food Co-op in Warren. I joined and I became a member for many years. And here I have a picture, and that's me. I look very different, but that is me. And that's when I was in Warren. And time went on, and I got separated from my second husband. And at that time, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. At that time, I joined the food co-op. I still really wanted to get my education. I really wanted to become a nutritionist, and I thought, well, and at that time, I interviewed at the University of Tennessee with the dietitian instructor, and I asked him a variety of questions. And I said, do you advise your students to eat whole wheat breads and whatnot? And he said, we don't require that. I said, what? You don't require that? I said, that's healthy food. And he said, well, if there's no interest and they're not interested in it and there's no enthusiasm, then the university will not offer that class. So I did some research, and I decided I was going to go to the University of Madonna. I heard they had a good deaf program there. I offered to do some tutoring and a variety of other things, so I decided the first thing I would do would go into the university bookstore, and I looked around, and I looked at a textbook for the class of nutrition, and
Very good.
oh, thank you.
Nice intonation.
Oh, good. I when I practice, I really try.